Hey YouTube, welcome back to Tinker with Tools. So a few weeks ago, I pitted the brand new XPH16 against its bigger brother in the Makita lineup, the XPH14. But now it's time to compare it to its compact competition. So let's get right into that on Tinker with Tools. Late last year, Makita announced the XPH16, their brand new compact hammer drill. And when I first heard about it, my initial thought and impression was going to be that we were going to be getting a compact drill, the likes of, say, a DeWalt Atomic or something of that nature, almost the subcompacts that some tools offer. This wasn't that, and we soon found out that it was more along the lines of a compact premium drill, one that is a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter weight, but still gives you relatively premium performance. Well, when we got it in our hands, I have to say I was a little bit let down. I was expecting something smaller, something lighter, and honestly, when you put it on the table with the XPH14, it can be very difficult to even tell the difference between the two drills other than when you use them, and that's when you start to see the performance dropping behind its bigger brother. Now this one is by no means claiming to be a replacement for the XPH14. Whether it's RPMs, torque, or even just in its hammer function, it is down from that of the XPH14. So while I wished it had a better reduction in size to go along with that reduction in specs, overall it still felt like a pretty quality drill. I just struggled to see the reason for releasing it if they weren't going to reduce the size more than what they did. Well, tonight we're going to be pitting it against some of the compact premium drills, in my opinion, that some of you have requested. Alright, so here is the competition that I've chosen for tonight. First off, this is going to be the Flex FX1151. This is not necessarily touted as a compact premium drill, but as it compares to its bigger brother, the Flex Turbo Hammer Drill, it is actually a pretty nice reduction in size and weight while still maintaining a decent level of power. But where it does really excel over this drill is it actually features up to 2200 RPMs, 400 more than you're getting with the XPH16. It does have some areas where I think it should be able to beat that drill. Now overall, the build quality, the size, the weight, the Flex feels pretty similar to this. The one place where it might be able to come in and undercut it a little bit is going to be on price. In a kit on its own, this is still over $300. The Flex is coming in sometimes as low as $99, but pretty reliably around that $200 or $179 mark. Now from DeWalt, we've chosen a pretty obvious comparison, one that many of you requested. This is going to be the DCD-805, the Compact XR Hammer Drill. Now I have spoken at great lengths about my love for the DCD-800, the drill driver variant of this exact same drill. Now in terms of power, comparing to DeWalt is quite difficult. They measure in unit watts out, and if you look at some of the product pages at the different retailers, you even struggle to find that figure. As near as I can tell, this is measured at 850 unit watts out, and how that compares to 970 inch-pounds of torque and 750 inch-pounds of torque, who knows. But safe to say that having used these drills before, I do think that power-wise, these are three pretty good comparisons. Let's talk about how we're going to do the testing tonight. One of my chief complaints about the LXT lineup right now is just that the batteries, although they are well made, and every single person in the comments will tell you how well made they are and how they're still running 10 years later, that's great, but there are newer battery technologies out, and each of these brands do have a newer battery technology. So first we are going to be comparing each of the tools on just 5 amp hour batteries, but then we are going to be employing a 3.5 amp hour stacked lithium for the Flex, and then with DeWalt we do have two compact yet powerful options. First it's going to be the minute little 1.7 amp hour power stack battery, and then we are also going to be comparing the 5 amp hour power stack battery, which shockingly enough is not the heaviest battery here. It's not even the heaviest 5 amp hour battery here. We'll obviously see how they compare on kind of more standard batteries, but then I want to be able to see what these tool companies are doing with more premium battery technology and how is it going to affect Makita's ability to keep up. All right, so you'll have just seen the testing. I have actually not seen the actual times, but I can tell you from doing the testing that I do have some impressions about the tools and how they compare. First off, with the Makita, I will say that it is a smooth drill. The smoothest of the bunch, in my opinion. I've always thought that Makita tools are nice to use. That is something that I'm never going to take away from them, even if I don't necessarily love the level of performance I'm getting in that tool. Now, some of the cons, in my opinion. One of the things that just really kind of left me wondering why they did it was they dropped the overall speed of this drill in its top gear down to 1800 RPMs. That is putting it down considerably lower than the other premium compact options in the market, and that was noticeable in these tests. It just was not in a hurry to complete any of the tests. Now, Makita did a couple of things really well in the test. It did one of the bigger bits in speed 2. There certainly is some torque here, just not a ton of speed. So if all you're concerned about is getting the job done, I do think the Makita will get the job done for you. It's just not going to be the fastest. All right, now let's talk about flex. With this FX1151, I actually do like this to use this considerably more than I do most of the flex tools because it does have a little bit of reduction in size. I do think it is falling behind some of the other tools here in the torque figure. When we got to some of those more demanding bits, it was very quick to tap out seemingly and just say, nope, I can't do it there. Now it is able to accomplish it on speed 1. Where I think this tool shines is just when it is on sale, or even when it's not, it is a very budget-friendly option. It gets you onto the platform with a great charger, and it does deliver some pretty nice battery tech. And if you do go with the Flex stacked lithium batteries, the nice thing is it does reduce some of the weight and size versus going with this 5 amp hour battery. All right, so now, did the DCD 805 stack up to the lofty opinion I have of the DCD 800? Obviously, it's a little bit longer, and that is one of the things that I love so much about the DCD 800 is just how compact it is. Now, if you don't care about the hammer function, you could go ahead and run that DCD 800 against these tools, and the size difference would be even more noticeable. This definitely felt like the quickest, most performant drill of the night. I'll let the numbers speak for themselves. Now, it is the lightest drill tonight, and when you put it with something like the PowerStack 1.7, that just really exaggerates how small of a compact of a tool it is. And I think if you're going for a compact tool, that is one of the things that truly benefits it. Obviously, the Flex on the 3.5 does get smaller and lighter, but the Flex on the 3.5 is still heavier than this on a 5 amp hour battery. And I think that's where the compactness or the lightweight component of it really starts to fall apart. All right, so at the end of the day, what do I think and how does this XPH16 compare to its competition? I think for my money, I would still end up in the DeWalt DCD 800. That being said, none of the three options really felt so far out of the race as to be not comparable. Overall, I think it's a nice drill. I just don't know that if it's worth the price premium to go over one of these other options, or if you should stick with something that's out there and even more compact options. Go ahead and let me know what you think down in the comments below. I love to hear from you. If there's another drill you're just dying to test that is widely available where I live, go ahead and let me know, and we'll see if we can't get a hold of that. If you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. It does help to support the channel and show others that you are interested in this content, and I really appreciate that support. Until next time, I'll catch you on Tinker with Tools.